everyone, my name is Zinita Masego. I am a Business Development Officer at the Sibande TVET College in the Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubator. So earlier on, we had a conversation. I'm sitting here with with the incubatees within the center, and then we were tackling a very critical topic about finance, financial management, and bookkeeping within their businesses. So now I think we're just going to continue with our discussion where you guys were still telling us about the mistakes that you guys have made, and then now how has it affected you guys maybe when you go out and source funding. Now, those financial mistakes that you made, what was the impact?
Hi everyone, my name is Elirwani Nefare from Elirwani Catering Services. Just to answer your question, Sister Zaneta, the problem with not recording your transaction or not recording what's happening within your business. For me personally, I'd say in terms of what I was selling in my shop, you get items that are not actually moving within your business. And then if there's no record, you will not be able to tell that this item needs to go off the shelf, if you need to continue with offering that item or that service. Yeah, so that was one of the critical points. Yeah. I remember at some point I had a product and then there was stock, but then it wasn't moving, but there was no way to show that actually, girl, this needs to go.
You know what you're speaking about? It's something that I think Pulani wanted to speak about later in terms of your sales, but then she'll bring it in when we say monthly in the center when you report, there's actually a sales plan. And then in the sales plan, that's where you list all of the products that you have. And then monthly you get to see that which product is selling and which one isn't. And then due to that, then now that would answer your question where you say, how do I know that, in time, before they even maybe expire some of them, like which product is selling, which one isn't. And remember in marketing, that's why you continuously do your market research to find out like, why is my business doing well and why isn't it doing well as well? So yeah, but then who else here has made those mistakes and what have you learned from it? Petro?
Thank you very much. My name is Petro Zmoza, the director of Indoniamans. I think more with that level of udlala business, waste imali. Later time you must know what the business in this cut a peak, in this cut is so good years. So sure. I think Macfair is cut so good years. It's where again you realize what I've wasted a lot of money as in doing udlala, and when you take the application we were far where you apply for a grant. Nakhona baqale baba cautious kuba difficult because ugcina so far you justify nezinto ungasazi ukuthi uzi-explain uthini. It can stop you from receiving any grant, but or ugcina udlula kanzima in that process. But I think lokho kuyishaya kakhulu business in terms of ukuthi kuba nzima lokho apply grant 1, 2 kuba nzima ukuthi uzame uku-apply loan. It blocks you in many things. So it's something that must not be done in the business at all.
Sure.
And also to add, my name is Blessing Sibande, marketing clerk for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Gert Sibande TVET College. I think we need to add that immediately when you start to play, it's a serious matter for the business, because whenever you play using the finances of the company, it means that you will never recover. You might think that you would recover, but you will never recover, because when you get into business, the only thing that you need to think of is to make money, and it's also to make profit. But once you start to play with an opportunity that is given to you, it becomes a problem. So now, how then do you fix that? You make sure that everything that you have, you keep it on record and you file it accordingly.
Sure.
Just to oppose what you were saying, okay, I'm Zenzile Ndawale from Senala Projects. I don't necessarily think it's playing, because most of people, when we're starting, we don't know, we don't have enough information. Without information, another person might view it as I'm playing, or I'm just misusing the funds. But I don't really know how to manage the funds. Without knowledge, you will not go further in your business. And with that being said, if you don't have recordings, obviously you cannot, even if you were to apply, but you cannot account with how long has your business been running, how is it going, so is it growing or is it not? So that can also hinder a lot of businesses from growing and applying for grants. Yes.
I think on that one, I think on that one, we then need to come up with a strategy to say how then do we improve on that. And in the ways of improving is the centers that we have. For an example, we have this center, it's for rapid incubation. Then that is where you go to, and then when you get into, they assist you with registering the company, or to say how do you start a company, and then take you throughout the entire process, where to go for funding, where to go for all of these processes in bookkeeping and stuff. So I think if we move on that direction, we would be safe.
Yeah. And just to add on, my name is Prudence Mahlangu. I'm a director of Mabomba Trading and Projects. For me, I feel like the new entrepreneurs should really seek out information. So the question is, as much as we can all complain about lack of information, not having enough knowledge about how to run a business, but the question is, do we have the right people to mentor us to grow our businesses? We all have technology. Do we use the resources that we have to empower ourselves? What do we do to seek for more knowledge? Or do we just say, asna information, therefore we can't do this and that and that? So as much as we can discuss these issues, outline them, let's also bring out solutions. So I would really appeal to new entrepreneurs to say, let's look for information, find a businessman. So that's very important. Because I remember when I made a huge mistake of not accounting for TVET. Yeah. And as much as it's sometimes you feel like I've done accounting before, but you forget such things, because I had a business mentor, then she was able to assist me to say, hey, don't forget this. But I was confused as to say, how do I then go back to talk to those people, because I didn't charge this. Yeah. But she was able to say, send an email, talk to them. Sure. Yeah, create this and that, and that business mentor was billing. To be clear. So yeah, never be afraid. Don't feel like you need to. Don't pretend as if you know more than you do. Sometimes there's people out there, local, who actually have more information that you can talk to. So use the facilities that we have, like Petrol has said, incubation centers. Find business mentors. Talk to people who've been in business for quite some time. You will really find assistance.
Then later, when you guys are in business, don't be also withholding information. Do share as well. Yeah.
And to add on that, from ML in Auto, we are allowed to make mistakes.
Sure.
Yes, we learn from them. It's not like or something. We learn from those mistakes, and we make sure that we're not repeating them. Because those mistakes, they are blocking us for funding and loans. So you are allowed to do a mistake and learn from it.
I think all of you are raising very, very valid points. Vela kusukuba udlala ukuthi udlala ngemali necessary, because you have a business, ubheka umuntu okudala ku business, not understanding indlela operator ngayo, because nami ngithi sengine company kubalekile le point raise ukuthi you need to have a mentor, someone that will guide you time to time, because now uma ubheka umuntu ku business uthi lo muntu une business uthenga imoto awunami ngithenga imoto, yabona, cannot knowing ukuthi wena una 200,000 in your company, no 200,000 usadinga ukuthi expand le company, udinga ukuthi wena uvuyiholela kahle uloku uchubeka until ibusiness yakho izifike le level yakulo muntu ibusiness ekuwe. So now ubheka umuntu, you are inspired by someone ongazazi into zakhe, ongamkhulumisa, ombona endleleni ukuthi awuthengile ngiyathenga, yabona, kanti yena unendlela zakhe, is been in business, you understand ukuthi I have a salary, I pay myself 20,000, I go and take imoto kaPolo, every month ngisibhadala 3,000. When you understand lo, uvela ukuthi no, mina ngina 200, take 110,000, buy a car, icompany sana 90,000. Vele akhona amaphutha esizondlula kuwe, but egcineni sizoba right. And theory, I find it practical business. You can bring all books that you want. Normal when you touch Google, I see practical into
to add to what Ubetu is saying, because even if, like right now, she mentioned that she heard that from me, but I had to say because I've done the same mistake previously. So, in what I'm not discouraging it. It's helping us a lot, but then being involved in that. So those were the mistakes. I like I said, I've made mistakes mangtala business because I was just spending until I've learned. But it's okay, you see now it's a turnover. okay, you understand? So we all have done those mistakes, and namanje we're still making some of those mistakes, but then we are improving as this is humble day in, day out, and the involvement of the center, I think it's actually helping us a lot, because now Uncle was gonna phone and say, I want this statement, and now I realize I've swiped it, and he's going to highlight. He's going to highlight, and then immediately when he gets there, he phones would say, needs me so you get that
Someone
now
who's responsible.
To add on
that one, I learned the hard way. I wake up one morning and went straight to Joburg for an auction. I bought 2 cars, cash. You understand? Yes. And I ended up selling one because now there's a job. I have to buy engines for these cars. I have to sell this one to put an engine on that one. I realized that I made a mistake.
You become an impulsive buyer.
It goes back to what my sister said, to have a budget. Once you have a budget, you plan that if I have 50 grand, it's very important planning and having a diary. Because as music, we take them light, mostly stock and abanye abantu bazikhuluma. Bakhona abosomabhizinisi who've been in the game for a very long time. Bazisho ezinye izinto, but we tend to turn a blind eye singazinaki. You having a diary, budgeting and planning for the whole month. People that are running the site, it's a guy who's managing the site lead. Every month, on a plan of the month.
Sure.
There is no way that surveillance is it. On a plan, this week we are going to do this. By the end of the week, we are report.
How much as well.
By the end of the week, I report. I have done this. I think next week we need to bring money for a contingent and so on. I think planning is very important and budgeting for the whole month. So that this month becomes a contingent plan if I stuck with a project in here. So I think planning, having a plan, every day wake up, look the plan and follow the plan. I think everyone will be successful.
My name is Melissa, the founder of Reign of Creativity company. So as entrepreneurs, we should consider it that we should have perseverance. We should be patient, because that will make our businesses to be self-full. The minute your business becomes self-full, it then overflows. It does not only benefit you, it also benefits your surroundings.
You guys have been covering something very, very critical, but then, thank you. But then, I think mainly we've been speaking about I. There's also a very important and critical issue that we are missing here. It's also going back to family. Sometimes I'm up in the saying you are not the ones who are like maybe liable for maybe our finances also going out of hand. I think I've also experienced where if family are in business, they think that there's money every day. There are people who always come to Gucci, sting at this. And then mauti auna mali. When you say auna mali, I should mali business which auna mali. But non I mal ngani saibona. And you'd be tempted to unete, but at the end of the day, you'd find when as much as you were eating your own business, you're not getting support, net discipline also at home. So I'm thinking also in that, from that, as Lung saying also with the people who surround us, those who are close, they must also understand why you are in business, what is it that you want to accomplish, and also just give a support there. And I think going forward, I would also like to ask, most of you guys here, I think there were times where you went to source funding, right? But then, is anyone here paying a loan?
Zimita, before we go into loans, my name is Pulana Toga, the bookkeeper intern in the CFE, Sibande TVET College. As we all know, that when you go into a business, we all want to make money. We all want to make profit. But the one thing that we tend to forget is that, let's say you're starting, let's say you're into manufacturing masks. So you have to remember that when you're doing your mask, you have to have a plan to say, no, I'm not going to focus only on producing masks.
Sure.
You have to make sure that you have a plan to say, okay, how am I going to increase my sales?
Sure.
Are those masks only going to give me money? Will I be satisfied with the money that I get from selling those masks? Sure. But you need to have also a plan B to say, okay, now to increase my sales, I need to also manufacture or do something else, make traditions, make something, like whatever business that you're into, you must also know that, okay, the other way to make sales is to have this other product, a second product. Yeah.
You must add to your product mix, you know.
exactly.
But then also to just say that whatever you add must complement the initial business. You know, you shouldn't like drift and like divert, you know. But
So my question would be, we've seen putting your eggs in one basket. What is done to many businesses during coronavirus.
Yeah.
When it hit us so hard. If you were in the food industry, you were doing a catering, then you had to close your business down. But for those who were, are diversified in terms of their businesses, they were able to say, okay, fine, I'm no longer making profits, or I had to close down because of this pandemic. But at least I have properties that could at least bring me some income of some sort. So the question would be, from my side, I don't know who can answer me, but is it advisable for one to only focus on one business idea, or rather on something which is within the same industry, or just diversify your business ideas to make sure that if this industry is experiencing problems, then I can always benefit from the other industry?
Can I come in? Thank you very much. I would like to agree with my colleague, the business lady here. During the pandemic, the COVID ishaya kakhulu ama-business wethu. And also I would like to support you, point Pulani, which when you do business, it's better to do a business more complementary. Because once you do a business, because a business is full of energy, focus, research, planning, resources. So more complementary. Lelo ngaliqala if complement lelo kuba lula ukuthi ukhona uthatha ama resource la wathola ngabe and invest these resources, because once uthatha ama resource we business and invest in something lento ingenzeki, then business iba the loss. And ushilo earlier on market la ukuthi imali eseyiluzile, you will never regain that money. Angeke uphinde uthole indawo. And leyo zobe soyenzile izabe uyenzele leso sikhathi leso, but le ilahlekile angeke uphinde uyithole. Yes, ngiyavuma. That's why you must choose your business very carefully. And ushilo said what you need to be passionate about what you're doing. Yes, lapho ngaleso sikhathi lesi understand ukuthi bekune COVID, but what you're doing, you need to be passionate about what you're doing then, and be loyal to what you're doing, because ungahaleli into yomunye umuntu ukuthi lona because they were COVID-19 bekapeta lapha amazambane wakhe aya kitchen mina kwami kumina si understand sonke vele lesifo lesi sonke besas expectanga, and lokho umuntu asibudgetela, lokho umuntu asiplanning. That's why silimelela. So if you only knew ukuthi this thing is going to be serious like this, leso khona uba ne contingency plan very quick. But engizama ukusho ukuthi ama business maswayenza ma complementary, njengama doing constructions and supplies. Kulula ukuthi ngesayidini bese bangifonela mhlawumbe la i-vendor Goldman bathi sifuna ama nuts. Ngiyakhona ukodwa ama nuts kuphi ngambe ngiyawalanda wa-deliver and continue with my work.
You already have relationships that can actually sustain any other revenue streams that you are growing as well.
I have a question for you. Because in my side, I'm into catering, but I also have other plans that do not include catering, like manufacturing, because I want to get into manufacturing. So how will that affect me? Because I don't think they complement each other. But I feel positive with it. If I move into manufacturing, it's still gonna work for me, and I'll make money, and I think I'll make more money. But then now hearing that, like if you start a business and then you have to add or something that is gonna complement, I feel like it's discouraging me.
Okay.
I would answer that. I would say, don't be discouraged as yet. But then remember, focusing on a sector and specializing on something is what's gonna kickstart. So now you've got these two ideas, right? And you know they're both gonna make money. But then now you must weigh them. Which one can be easy to start and be easy to start bringing in the sales. Focus on that, punch in more sales. And then when later you can see now it's punching in more sales, it's got a system, it's running itself, then bring in the other one. Because why I'm saying that, I did the same. I was so excited getting the business. I did supply chemicals, I did sell eggs, I did construction, I did put in fence, but right now I'm doing none of that. My core has been training. Now I was seeing with it, but then I was trying to do all these things that I hear they're making money, and I got involved, and then I was not making it until I said no, let me just drop everything, let me focus on kickstarting the training. And if I put my whole effort in training because it brought my first 3,000 rand. I saw which maybe I can make more 3,000 rand in this. Then I focused on it and it started picking up. Then I started now seeing, there's an opportunity in engineering now, but what kind of engineering am I going to do? Okay, I can repair because I've got people that can assist me to repair. I can also get involved. Now those two are complementing one another. Not that those ideas as I'm feeling, they're still there, but I packed them. So as is Curtis Hammer, they will.
In addition of what you're saying, I compliment our business now because if we are producing a rice and we are doing catering, for example, I'm making example of rice, then you take this rice. We are paying a
Maybe for manufacturing Sibande,
No, I want to manufacture toilet papers. Yes, but it can still work.
Yeah, because I still need the service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we saying, can I have a question then? Are we saying if you're in business, you need to only focus in one specific thing or something which goes hand in hand with what you're currently busy with? Okay. So would it be wrong for me if I'm in business to, let's say, I'm in manufacturing, right, of within the clothing industry and textile. So if I want to venture now out into property, would that be a bad decision?
Can I just come into that one because I think it speaks to one of the programs that we have within the center. Like at times we work with people who already have businesses and those who still have ideas. So it's very easy for you to be excited with an idea, until you start it practically. So the center is called the Center for Entrepreneurship. Then there's Rapid Incubator. Rapid means fast, And then here what we say, we actually say start your business but then fail fast. So it's about you starting then fail. We put you out there, go and prove it.
Yes.
We have our programs where we say, you know what, instead of you being inside the incubator, go outside, go and validate your product in the market, hear what they have to say. Sometimes, it's not about what I want or what I think they want at times, but it's also about who's going to buy it. Do they want it that way? So then that program, that's why we actually say, go out to the market, engage them, get to understand what is it that maybe they would like you to add or tweak here and there. Just basically validate that business idea and then come back to the center before you go out and source funding, only to find which, there's no need for that product or maybe it's in the wrong place. So then in that case, I say we don't kill it, but then we actually take you out there to prove it and you come back and tell us that, I still want to continue with this or not.
In addition, Zenit, I don't discourage anyone with business name. It's a guy in Mazio, starting a company one. Today, una company name. Une security, une construction, they dispose into the Department of Health, the nature of that. But was a figure to this level. Uqala focus on business yakhe well established. Make research about it. Plan, invest, because any man that also touches about the business or invest to the second business, you collapse on the business. Find out the business say lose the profit there. If expand this one more, that's why you need to be sure when you move. And also dinner, no mutu kinsekile nama expert, so that when you leave this business and put energy in the second business, you find your full energy in the second business. So we're not discouraging, but most of the parents was mad. You cannot open a company 12 which you are away 12 it's proven that you will fall.
No, I think I understand. To start with someone and you focus on it and then when it sustains itself and then you can move on to another.
Remember, even the system CIPC allows you to even have 20 businesses, so you're not limited. But we just want to make sure that whatever business you start, it succeeds. And then it's easy. It's easy for you to start the next. Yeah.
So when is the right time to move to the next? How do I know with Manji I'm ready?
Money talks.
Money talks. No, I don't think it's money. And I don't think
it's that one. I think we can speak about money, but I think the core or critical part is sustainability. If you know that this one is well sustainable, then why not? You can still venture.
That's why I'm saying profits, because the only way you can tell your business is sustainable is when you know it's got from. I'm now chowing from the profits and it's a sal. So now it's effectively I can be
there. It doesn't need you full time.
Then I can invest in the other and put my energy on it because learn and again it's going.
I think mina siyavumelana. It is just is the way. Say sustainability, man. But was saying business phela kusukuthi ube ne
document
the coin. The 14. You can have those things. There are people who've been having this thing for a very, very long time. Muna 10 years on a ticket, muna 20 years. That's why I was saying, Abatabaning were failure because they want to win this name. Other people, you must agree. That's why when you do something, introspection is very important. If you can't multitask, yeah, we are but sometimes you can't multitask. You focus on 21, so it's very important. Introspect yourself. Best you tell us something, then must be sustainable, then you continue. I think then we agree when it goes to issue
but then I would like Unomfundo to come in.
No, I just want to say some of the businesses, they need you physically to be there. Don't trust just anybody. They need you to be there. See that business grow in front of you. Yes. And then another thing with Zenzel, like Magazi introduced her, she said Usaqala, I mean, and then Usaqala. So meaning now there's no system in place, and then already you have two business ideas. So, when it was financing, there are no record keeping on this one, and then now you want to join into another one, same issues na corner. So, I think it would be wise maybe to establish that A1 at least, and then have systems in place. Then I'm getting up already, you've learned your mistakes. So, yeah, I like having two, and then both of them, they just boom, party.
No, I think unfortunately we have run out of time, so we are going to wrap this topic up. But you know what, I think I love what you have shared, and I'm hoping you also at home seated there, you have like learned something out of this, because seated here, this is us trying to create awareness and also just come to you and say, you know what, with a business incubator, you don't have to actually come to the incubator, but then there is a virtual incubation. Just for maybe more information, just log on to our Facebook page, the
Center for Entrepreneurship, Rapid Incubator at GS College.
Thank you for blessing the support. So please just look out for that one. So any questions, maybe any topics that you'd like us to talk about next time, just, you know what, just add them there and we'll have a look at that and maybe invite more of our entrepreneurs to actually share their experiences as well. But then on that note, this is where we wrap it up and say thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.